అందరికీ నమస్కారం. వెల్కమ్ టు ఎన్ బిజినెస్. నేను అశ్వతి బాలకృష్ణన్. సో ఇవాళ మనం బ్లూ డోర్ గ్లోబల్ సొల్యూషన్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడుకోబోతున్నాం. వీ హావ్ విత్ us the founder of Blue Door Global Solutions, Sapna Subramanyam. Hi, Sapna Subramanyam.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
So can you just brief about Blue Door Global Solutions to our audience, please?
Sure. So, primarily to talk about, even to begin with, for Blue Door Global Solutions, is a story where my journey had begun as an entrepreneur for 22 years. And I was a partner in a company, an event company, for almost 15 years, and then moved out. And with a lot of passion and emotion, I came up with this name, Blue Door, because I just wanted to experience multiple avenues of services that I can probably, go further into the industry with bringing the right kind of knowledge and the right kind of intelligence in different verticals.
Okay.
So then it was like, obviously we went through with a lot of like a word plan for the company, but then later on we stuck on to Blue Door, and then I just started off Blue Door Event Solution because that was my easiest path of getting into the business that I was already existing into. And obviously the goodwill throughout the years of experience with multiple companies and multiple stakeholders who were a part of my company, I could kind of kind of adventure out in the corporate division. I had to continue with my existing corporate business to kind of bring in the income back into my life, because that was a huge break and I was kind of shuffling around areas thinking what to do next and how to go about next. So obviously, again, with the goodwill, my corporate clientele, they said it was just me who mattered. The companies really didn't matter because of the services that I provided and the kind of accomplishment I have done in the event industry, which is a, a massive, responsible, a profession that anybody could be a part of.
Okay.
And me being a girl and a woman and single-handedly handling close to 10,000, 15,000 people had actually made me experience not only on the details of executing an event, but also planning and managing people and managing manpower, managing the company. So it gave me a holistic learning. And we did some brilliant shows. The minute I started off my agency, I think my clients just came across and said, start off with this again. And that pushed me to kind of, bring in some really grand events on ground. And further down, obviously, I've always had this little kida in me, this little insect with me who is adventurous and wants to explore. Well, that comes in being single and not married, have loads and loads of time around you to manage things. So I kind of made this company my baby. And I said, let me just nurture this baby to such an extent that it is recognized not only in India, but globally. And that's where the name Blue Door Global Solutions had come forward. And the interests were also that I had to channelize my services, because I knew that somewhere my talents were being merged with multiple experiences and multiple services that I could kind of render or pass it on to my clients, all because of the super mentors who've always been around me, exposing or showcasing the world, saying this could be a possibility, this could be a possibility. And that kind of got me into, a thought that saying, when an FMCG company or when a retail can handle thousands of products as brand in under one roof, why can't we as event managers, or me as an entrepreneur, as a business entity, can channelize my contacts or my experience to different verticals, which caters to multiple services. So Blue Door Global is a mother company, and I do have Blue Door events, Blue Door Sustainable Solutions, and I do luxury weddings that we cater to as a channel, as a vertical under this umbrella.
All right. So can you just share us the behind story of the startup?
The behind story, like I said, as a woman, we do come across a lot of challenges. And I've been living all by myself for quite some time because after losing both my parents and losing my mom to cancer was another learning, an emotional journey that I went through. And my mom was an extremely, extremely strong person, mentally. Even though physically she had multiple challenges, she would never tire herself up, or she would never shut down her mind or her wisdom, of sharing the happiness or sharing the positivity to me. And that kind of creeped me on as well. So that's why I've never worked with anybody under between four walls. I was always somebody, they say you have a mole under your feet that you're going to be flying around. I said, why not? I mean, if I'm be able to, why not? So, like I said, Bluedo Global was something which I wanted to make it my strength and my freedom as a woman, and express my positive approach to how an entrepreneur can path her journey way. And I think that really was a struggle. It wasn't easy because having a company, having an environment to be created on the positive platform is not very easy, because everywhere you do, even if you have to run a company, there's a commercial angle to it, an investment angle to it, a timeline angle to it, and innovative angle to it. So I had to literally break down all of this. And then during COVID, what happened was that's when Bluedo Global had come in, because during COVID, my industry primarily shut down because we were literally considered as a luxury segment of services. And then I came across two of I think two of these gentlemen from Bangalore who happened to be an environmentalist.
Okay.
And I sat across with them and spoke about multiple things on how we are kind of, harming the Mother Earth, and, how we are damaging the trees, or how sustainability as a transformation is bringing so much of a grand entrance at the recent age. Obviously, the past generation did not understand it much, but as on today, you talk about sustainability, I think teenagers are the ones who stand up for it more than any of the veterans. So I just thought for myself that why don't I start up a company, a vertical, and also create a mother company by Bluedo Global Solutions, and have global collaborations on sharing this knowledge and sharing this platform of the research that these two environmentalists have come up with. So Mr. Suresh Tota and Cherish Tota, who are from Ethical Paper, and they're basically from Bangalore. And when I also had done a little bit of a research on what kind of consumption all India overall, the stationery consumption alone is close to around $4,000, $4,000 billion. And then the kind of trees are cut, like 16,000 trees in a day or more than that, which is cut down just because we need the comfort of writing on paper. And so I just did a little bit of research on what is the kind of consumption a banking entity or a hospital or a medical entity or a software company would kind of procure every month. And we put down the numbers, and it varied from somewhere from 3 crores to 100 crores, which is like a huge expenditure. Can you
Yes.
imagine the entire, like every person next to you is someone who is responsible for cutting trees or even damaging the earth by the chemicals that is used for the bleach. And for making it white, it's actually bleached and then gone. The entire process is kind of let down at the ground level. And then we sat down, and that's when I registered the company Blue Door Global Solutions and under startup. And I primarily approached SBI for investing into my company as an overdraft or some kind of a monetary investment for rotating my stocks. Because if we're talking about those numbers, I definitely need a banking support. And then the GM over there suggested that I met Deepthi from VHub,
Okay.
And that's where I landed up in VHub,
We
and it
have.
just happened without, I think, within a span of 2 days.
All right.
And we met Deepthi, and then she got me empaneled in the cohort, the
Mm-hmm.
first cohort which was held over here.
Okay.
And I think that's where, as a startup, I have been recognized and through my journey, and I like it.
All
I'm
right. So,
enjoying
what are the
it.
challenges you've been facing in this industry?
So as an entrepreneur, I have never taken any investment, outside investments. It's always been that I've always churned my money, my income back and forth, come in and go in, come in and go in. So for me to expand, it was very difficult. The second most important challenge was everybody would ask for a blood relationship to sign up on any documents. And,
Okay.
like whether it's mother or father, but then when you're single, you don't even have a mom and dad to give you a surety. I mean, how does one do that? So those were a couple of challenges that I had faced. And then, obviously to expand and grow, we need a huge team.
Okay.
And now with the running current generation, the asks are so high because they don't talk numbers in months anymore. They talk on annual cover up, right? So
Correct.
and so there were a lot of things as a startup that I had to learn. And well, few, yes, coming down here to VHub gave me a little bit of an exposure. But yes, of course, I just took up a couple of people as mentors in my company, followed their piece of advice. But then, even then, it was quite challenging. And the challenge is, we don't have, as entrepreneurs, we don't get these office spaces for a considerable cost, because spending that kind of money and being around our business colleagues or business partners, like for example, if you take the high tech city, the real estate values on rentals are really high. So we don't have that kind of privilege or as entrepreneurs. So we again struggle on churning our monies on stabilities of the company. So the stability, which is obviously the real estate, and manpower, or you talk about the other extended possibilities of services that we can get from the government. And most importantly, I think the entire spec of running a company, where you need, like, I have a vision of probably having a 200 crore or 500 crore turnover company in the next 10 years. But how do we document it? How does the legal approaches happen? So those things is something which is a struggle even now for me. Like, there are multiple people who come forward and give multiple opinions, obviously to take the charges for an hour or a day. But then what is the outcome?
Okay.
The outcomes are extremely slow for us, because at the end of the day, people whom we approach, they say, oh, she's just a woman and there's no man standing next to her supporting her in any kind of documentation, so let's take her for a ride.
All right.
But then that is again something which nobody fed into me, but that is a problem that I'm still trying to solve, but to an extent have solved it myself, because I've learned from it too.
All right.
Right? So that is something which we as entrepreneurs always face. And I think it's very, very important for entities like VHub or the government to kind of give us some kind of a platform which eases out our reinvestment stress in the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are your future plans?
Well, lots, because my journey, like I said, has never been easy. And as a woman, I know the kind of struggles we all go through every day, even today. And with the kind of diverse intelligence around, and with the kind of knowledge that we have everywhere, I definitely want to bring those knowledge on my platform and given that wisdom to my clientels, or provide that service to my clientels, where I can bring out that knowledge and showcase them to this world in the right way. And of course, I'm not going to be biased, but definitely I am wanting to have a lot of women work under me, so that I can mentor them myself and give them, and probably tell them that it's just not work all the time. A little bit of fun and a little bit of joy in your life can also matter. And I believe that my aura does that quite a
Correct.
bit. and of course take Blue Door Global Solution, which is my baby and my everything as of now, to on a global platform and recognize myself somewhere on the top 10 Asian entrepreneurs.
So how this we have helped you in this journey?
Well, I'm still on the process of learning quite a bit from VHub, but yes, I think the couple of months that we have met, trust me, first and foremost, I have been quite cocooned in my own space. I have
Okay.
never, trust me, from my college days until today, I have never really gone to a workshop, or I have not registered myself on any online training. So everything that I have learned has been a practical experience for me. And so when this recommendation had come from SBI, initially I would have backed off. I would have said, like I would have shied off, or I would have said, no, I don't have the time. But then I just really pushed myself and I came in. So I felt like I was a student back again, and definitely met such really good people around. I mean, the warmth in VHub and the open heart that they have to push the great talents, the cropping talents, especially from the women. I was surprised myself, and that motivated me directly quite a bit, saying that, when they are able to do it, I mean, we are somebody who have to handhold and pull them. What are we doing? So that inspiration is something which I definitely got from Via. And there were a little bit of interactions that we've had with a couple of people over here. So that kind of also made me comfortable, and obviously pushed me to explore more. And I guess I'm yet to learn, because we still have the sessions done. So
Okay.
maybe I'll be able to give a clear idea on what I have learned after my, the end of the session, or when I graduate from the cohort.
Sapna, what are your achievements?
Okay, so as a child, I was always one of the most active girls running around here and there. So sports was always under my umbrella. I was practicing tennis for almost 8 years, and I played for the nationals,
Wow.
and I won the runner-up, the silver medal. This was during my college time. And then, of course, was picked up for modeling from there, and have done a couple of ram shows, and maybe a little bit time on behind the screen, but that was not me, because maybe I was shaped out to be an entrepreneur. And then I was also recognized as the top entrepreneur in South India. Uh, and we were also written in the magazines at Blue Door Events was one of the top 10 companies in curating corporate events.
Wow.
So that has been my achievement until now, that I can proudly say and remember. But I'm sure I have done few in my journey, and looking out to explore more.
So, Sapna, any message you would like to share with our audience?
Well, I would say that we as women are tuned to be stronger than men, and emotionally, physically, as on today, mentally, as always. And sometimes the emotional side takes over, it overtakes all the other focuses that we have in life. So, all I would say is emotions can be parked, it is important, but emotions is an investment. So, think where you're investing that, because this is one life that you have to live. And your journey doesn't just stop with what you're doing now. Maybe what you're doing now is just 1% of what you want to do in the rest of your life. Exploring, reading, um, traveling, meeting people, learning out of it is more important than indulging in conversations which really doesn't matter. Because for me, every minute is an experience. Like if I'm sitting and talking to you today, I think maybe I will take back something along with me. I like your poise, I like the confidence that you were there as a news reader or an MC. So that is something which I cannot do in my daily life, right? So that is a learning that I take back. So as women, I think it's very important on what you take back with you, and what you sleep in the night happily, where you say that, okay, there's something that has injected a part of my confidence. And like I said, you can be a mother, you can be a sister or a wife, or or maybe
Daughter.
a couple or a daughter or whatever. But trust me, everything takes a back seat.
Correct.
What you take in the front seat right now is today and the time that you have today and how you're going to encash on your confidence.
Correct.
Nothing else matters. So that is something which I'd like to tell all the women entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much, Sapna. It's been an amazing interactive session with you, and we wish you all the very good luck for your future endeavors.
Thank you.
You're really an inspiration to all the women out there.
Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all about Blue Door Global Solutions. And Maroko entrepreneur to Malli Kaluddam. This is me, Ashwati Balakrishnan, signing off. Thank you so much.